So today's episode, I think, is really how do you squeeze the juice, right? We're already doing the work.
Yeah.
And that's how you grow. Squeeze the juice of, it's not always about getting more people. It's about squeezing the people or the juice that you already have. Yeah.
I'm with you. Yes.
So everybody out there, whatever your business is, one is find a mentor, get coached. Like I said yesterday, I just bought a course on AI. Why? Because I want to get better at what I'm doing, build brand, build better content, build a bigger top of funnel, right? Because the more leads that come in, the better I do financially, and it just keeps growing. And so if I want to get to the place where I want to go for my goals of 2025, like we talked about in 2024 when we said crush 2024.
Yes.
How are you going to crush 2025? I think I've, not hit every goal I set out, but I can honestly say I crushed 2024.
Well, good morning. This is Vinny and Bo show right here. On Fridays, we come live to you. Well, actually, we record a week early, then edit. Our editors work on it and so on. Today's topic is amazing. Bo, I know you and I record lots of great content, but then how can we really bring it out to get more engagement? That's what we're going to talk about, how to repurpose that content. Take it away, brother.
All right. So I've been doing a lot of webinars on SBA, franchise, all this stuff. And I was like, all right, well, what am I doing after the event? So I send an email out, and usually with some sort of call to action. And then I say when the video is edited, I'll email that out. So then I do that, and I email it out to the last event I had about 450 RSVP'd. And so you usually get about a 16% show up rate. So whatever your top line is, you figure about 16%. You always want to get better and start driving that number up. And the way to do that is you say only the people that attend live get this bonus, right? So they're encouraged to be on live. Then I'll upload that and make it into a podcast episode on YouTube. Well, that's great, but that's like nothing. So the other day I was on a call, and it was how to repurpose your webinars. It was like, I just saw it in my inbox. I'm going to this. And I learned so much stuff yesterday. Just like one prompt alone. Basically what I did with my webinar yesterday, this is just one of I'm going to be doing 10 things on every webinar at minimum to repurpose. So the prompt was basically extract the top 5 quotes or statistics from the content that would resonate with aspiring business owners. Create a series of 5 unique and engaging social media posts, including captions and hashtags for each, designed to increase engagement, generate interest, be innovative and relevant. So that's a prompt. So the kind of overarching theme of this is that you need to have a place where you store all these high level prompts, because you're going to use these over and over again to generate. So then what you can do is you can set up, in one of the systems I use, you can set up a basically like a file, and it's a system. So when a webinar comes in, it automatically does all these things for me. So it'll create 5 or 10 social media posts. It'll create a blog post. It'll create emails automatically through AI. Then you'll cut reels, little snippets. Then you'll do memes, right? And see, I wasn't doing any of that. So I'm spending all this time getting people to these events, but I'm not squeezing the juice. So today's episode, I think, is really how do you squeeze the juice, right? We're already doing the work. And that's how you grow. Squeeze the juice of, it's not always about getting more people. It's about squeezing the people or the juice that you already have. Yeah.
I'm with you. Yes. No, I think this is a beautiful thing what you're discussing, because I know I have recorded so much over the last 9 years. Of course, I'm in the syndication business, commercial real estate and academy where I teach and passionately, and the books and all that. But you're so right. I think unless we really do know these prompts, how to extract enticing, subject lines, and also the interior message has to have the hook, we call it, right? So, these prompts are available out there, but I think one needs to really dig into these, just like you did. Did you do a seminar, attend a seminar, or what did you do?
Yeah, it was a workshop. Yeah. So
A workshop.
that's the
Yeah.
difference why I keep growing, Vinny, is because I
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
these things and then I go, okay, I'm going to implement this into my business. Just
Yeah.
like when you're just think about this, when you're really excited, go back to like when you started learning from Dave Lindell, Ari Mentor 20
Yes.
years ago, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
What you did well is you dove into the content and then you implemented, right? Like you
Mhm.
dove into the strategy and you started to like
Yeah.
make it your own.
Yeah.
So you have to do the same thing with content if you want to build a brand, or you have to hire the right people, which hiring the right people is hard because you really don't
It's
know what you
very hard. It's very
so
hard, brother.
so you got to learn the infrastructure and then you can outsource it. But and that's why I've always liked the VA model, because I can learn the infrastructure and then I could bring in have the VAs do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so let's just say my reach was a couple thousand people with the YouTube video and the repurposing of this
Hmm.
webinar. Well, my
Yeah.
reach now, when I 10x it by doing these 10 or 15 social media posts that are
Uh-huh.
getting from this, when I create 10 reels from the webinar, when I
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
a newsletter about it, when I do email copy about it, when I do all these things, now instead of touching 2,000 people, I touch 10 or 15,000
Yes.
people. You see how that builds on
True.
itself?
Totally.
So that's
Totally.
what
Yeah.
I think you have to like really strategize. Like you can't just,
Hmm.
we were talking before we went live, is you
Yeah.
can't just put out slop, right? You can't just, it's got to be, you got to really think about who your avatars are and who
Hmm.
you want to be to find your message and resonate with your message, and then start following you and get into your ecosystem.
That's so true. I mean, that's the key thing. I know we talk about avatars. We talk about, do we really know what's our brand and who should we target for one person? Who is that person in the age group, in demographics, in their habits, in all these things, so that if you could really target for that one person, the whole tribe of those kind of profiles will be able to come into your followers, right? And then you give them little bit more free things, lots of free things, so that they could say, you know what, I do like this person, I do like what he's talking about. And then they come slowly into your circle. You cannot just ask them to buy something, you know, just zap them. They say, who is this guy? I don't even know about him. So it's a transitional journey. I think journey is the word, right? And so let me ask you a question. What kind of platforms in your thinking and your research are the top right now? What platforms one should use?
Well, if you have a podcast, you should use Cast Magic.
Uh-huh. Cast Magic. Okay.
Okay, because
Uh-huh.
Cast Magic
Yeah.
has all
Cast Magic.
has all the
Cast.
capabilities. So I'm
Uh-huh.
stacking my
Okay.
software and tools I use. But the thing, what I'm going to start measuring is going, okay, look, any tool that I use needs to provide an ROI. If it's not, it's done.
Yes.
Right? An ROI could
Yes.
be buying back time, or it could be getting
Uh-huh.
business. So
Yeah.
I use Cast Magic for every podcast episode. It gets uploaded. It creates the transcription. It creates it great. So, but what I was just using it very minimally. But what the
Another
thing,
one is, by the way, Descript. I
yeah.
just wanted to say that word too. Descript. I know in my team uses Descript, which takes the ums and ahs out and really puts it, nicely. Are these very similar, by the way? I don't know. Maybe
Well,
I'll
this says
check
more
that.
for the content creation side of it.
I
So,
see.
like
Okay, okay.
creating like a newsletter, a blog post, catching cool.
Oh,
If you're
okay.
interviewing somebody, it might catch a cool like quote, and then it will do quotes in
Ah,
parentheses. Then you can create pictures and static and
okay,
memes
okay.
for social media. So,
Oh,
like,
wow. Okay.
yeah. So
Hmm.
my goal now is to become more omnipresent, right? Like Bo is everywhere. Bo
Hmm.
is everywhere, talking
Yeah.
about SBA, talking about buying business, talking about tax strategy,
Yes.
right? And then the webinars feed it. Then the webinars, hey, not only am I going to get people there, live, but then every time I repurpose, it's just going to grow and grow and grow. Before you know it,
Totally.
instead
Totally.
of 5,000 people knowing you, 100,000 people know you, then 1,000,000 people know you.
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so that's the goal. The more people that know you, know, like, and trust you, they go, hey,
I
Vinny's
agree.
got a
Yeah.
course on, you know, getting your first residential assisted living. Oh,
Yes.
hey, let's take
Yes.
this because
Yes.
we're going to, boom. And then you run paid ads. The
Yeah.
best,
That's right.
best ads to run are, based on what I've learned from some people, or
Yeah.
it's not you promoting, it's your
Yes.
student promoting. Hey, I was in Vinny's
Exactly.
residential assisted living startup, accelerator program. I ended
Yeah.
up I ended up getting into my first residential assisted living facility. It's now 90% occupied. I'm crushing it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to get the next one, right? Like that's an ad you run, and social proof, and like for me,
Totally. Totally.
recently
Yeah.
funded deals, all that kind of stuff. And so you have to take it seriously. And I think spending an hour a day
Yeah.
is well worth it to focus on your
So
brand and
true.
your content.
I agree with you 1000%. But let me ask you a question. I know a lot of people who follow us, there are so many techniques to repurpose. And the one that I have really found out is through Opus Pro. Opus Pro or Opus.pro, I think is the one. And inside, you could connect your socials and then from the cuts that AI does, and you could trim it up and down and everything, and then also do the scribing. From there, you could choose which platforms, whatever that cut is, you could put it right from that platform. It gives you four different choices to make the whole rewriting of the whole script, the interior message and the subject line interesting, catchy, serious, something else. There are four, I think.
Yeah.
So that way you could intrigue people, to get into that hook which we were talking about. Huh? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so putting the plan together so every day with the least effort, you now have it going out, the
Yes.
best content going out on multiple platforms.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and that's how you start building that omnipresence because you're everywhere. And because
Yeah.
yesterday I got an email and it was enticing and I bought the
Hmm.
course. It was like on AI, right? I don't even
Oh,
know the
yeah.
sender. I was on his list somehow. But the point is
Wow.
like people buy from different platforms. So some people
Yes.
buy off of
Yes.
email, some people
Yep.
buy off newsletters, some people buy
Hmm.
off Instagram, TikTok posts.
Hmm.
So that's why the more places you are with good content
Yeah.
that provides value, you're going to get
That's
more you're going to get more buyers of whatever your service is. So I think
sure.
figuring that part out, and then get tools that you're actually using. If you're not using the tools, it's a waste of money. If you're using the tools, you're probably getting an ROI. So like
So
everything on
true.
YouTube,
So
because I
true.
do so much podcast, I use TubeBuddy for
Yes.
optimizing videos. I get an ROI. Opus Pro or Opus Clips, whatever, ROI. Um,
Yes.
Cast Magic, ROI. Time saver,
Yep.
and
Hmm.
helps create content. The other thing you can do, Vinny, is you are on so many podcasts. You can go back to those any YouTube shows you were a guest on. Go grab
Yes.
the URL and then put it in Opus Pro, and it will cut clips.
So I
Because
love that.
it's
I'm
not your
glad
show.
you
You haven't
reminded me.
right? Like go, hey,
Yeah.
let's go find this. Now I just created
Yeah.
now I just created 100 pieces where it's better because I'm like getting interviewed. I'm not the one, right? It's like more social proof. So all these little
So
things
true.
compounded
Yeah.
on, and that's why you really need a good VA that's like you give them hey, this is what I want. Here's the things I
Hmm.
want you to do. So like my VA, I'm a guest on a weekly show, and he goes and grabs
Yes.
the YouTube video and downloads it.
From that guest. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
so I know how to download videos that are not your
Oh.
videos on
Oh,
YouTube.
really? Is it through the service, the
It's
premium service or
it's free.
something?
No, premium
Oh,
doesn't
it's
do it.
free. I want to talk
I
to
have
you
a
about
tool.
that, man.
I have a tool
Okay, we'll talk about it, man,
because
right
then
after this show.
yeah, and then there's really cool stuff. There's another company called Play Phrase, and they have like little movie
Rephrase.
clips and
Oh, wow.
you can take little clips from motion picture movies, like of them saying something. Like I can
Yeah.
say, I could put in, find a clip that says, "Wow, that is amazing," and they find like a little meme, and then you cut it into your reels, right? And you make them
Oh
because you
my
make them
gosh.
more engaging. So
Yes,
all these
yes,
tools are
yes.
available. So it's like the people that right now we're kind of in like a gold rush of AI,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
so if you can figure out how to put these pieces together and grab market share now, where there's like before it gets too
That's so
saturated,
true.
and so
So
like
true.
and that's the gold rush in content. I think right now is that
I
you can
love
be a
it.
small team, small and nimble, but you can look like you're a big team because you have videos going out and different things. And I mean, it's just truly amazing. So that's what I'm working on, is because I know the more people that find me. Yesterday, a couple calls, but one in particular, I go, "Oh, so how did
Mm-hmm.
you find me?" He goes, "Oh, I don't know. I was just watching YouTube." you know, here the guy,
Look at
here's a guy
that.
that's going to probably buy a business, and I make a pretty substantial fee.
Totally,
So
totally.
so like, what if there's a million people like that, right? Like you
I
make
know.
more,
I
right?
agree.
And so that is the power. And the ultimate power, I believe, is to have something that you do once that you can resell over and over again.
So
Courses,
true.
software,
Mm-hmm.
membership
Mm-hmm.
softwares, right? Like all these softwares that I pay monthly to, those companies
Yeah.
are the best, right? Like owning that company, like I think ConvertKit, that's where I do my newsletter from. I think they have
Oh yeah. Convert kit. Uh-huh.
600,000 users. Just say 100 times 600,000. I don't know if that's accurate, but just think about the
Mm-hmm.
valuation of that company. It's $1 billion company or close to it.
Oh my God. Convert kit. Yeah. I remember that.
I invested a little bit of money in Fathom, which does the
Oh,
AI
awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
and
Transcription,
they're
right?
doing another
Yeah.
seed round. But I invested in it when it was like valued at like 30 million. Now it's valued at 72 million. Um, so I invest on like Republic and WeFunder, where you do those startups. Yeah,
Yes, 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 yes.
I
Uh-huh.
put a little bit of money in different things that I think will go, and we'll see how that all
Smart.
pans out. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fathom I use, so I was like, I'm going to invest in this one. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, what can you squeeze more juice out of in your business? And so,
So
like,
true.
what do you
So
think?
true.
What are some things that you think you can squeeze more juice out of, Vinny?
I would say definitely in my case, brother, I think that senior assisted living, which I've been in it 5 years now, I know the spectrum of the multifamily senior living and also what the potential holds for residential assisted living. And that's what I'm putting together a course where I can teach people what I'm going through right now, and it's just the everything, what they need to be looking at, not to do the blunders, how to find locations, how to do research on all different things, how to find an operator. You're not in the business, but you're outside. You can be just buying the real estate and getting a company to manage it, or do both sides, which I'm doing, which is buy the real estate and getting through the whole thing about insurance and everything, and seller finance. I mean, not seller. It was seller financing first one. I'm going through the DSCR loan. Right now, as you know, an SBA loan, 7A loans are amazing that you do. Fantastic. So all those things is my one niche. The other one is that I'm also helping people to understand in multifamily, we should be ready because interest cuts are coming. 2025 is going to be a great year for those people who are ready to pick up some great assets. But it all boils down to raising money. So I'm cranking up on the other side with my academy. I just got a student, by the way, $10,000, student. When I say 10,000, the key thing is he's so passionate and he went through my academy. It's 72% of the academy within a week, 10 days. He says, Vinny, and I've got his whole, I said, hey, if you want to give testimonial, I would love to. So we recorded it. And now we're going to be publishing it and all that. He says, Vinny, it's the simplest, and you keep it so simple, and you're able to teach in such great fashion that I'm understanding. He's ready. He's I mean, from here where he didn't know anything about commercial real estate, he's over there. Like 200%, 300%. He's joining my Wednesday masterclass already, and not odd, and not thinking that he's not understanding. He's so smart. So, and another student just called me for one-on-one coaching, which will be 60,000. I think I cut it down from 100 to 60, 40% off. So he just came back from France, and he just told me, just text came, Winnie, I'm ready. So that's another one. Another student wants to join end of the month. So all these people are coming through my go high level funnels and all. And I'm interacting. What I'm finding is just like what you're saying, Bo. I used to hire people to sell for me. Somehow that doesn't work. It doesn't. When you're dealing with, $50,000 ticket item,
They
they want to
want
talk to Vinny.
they
Yeah,
want to they want you because nobody understands what they're going to get, and
exactly. Exactly.
they're gonna get the sincereness that you're conveying to them, and
Sure.
being like,
Sure.
look, it's a big investment.
Those,
At the end of the day, that's a lot
yeah,
of money to most people,
it
but
is. Sure it
you
is. Sure it
anything you
is.
do, you got to look at ROI. What's that going to be? Like when I first got into the franchise business,
Mhm.
I invested to go through a training, which I'm still part of.
Yeah. Yes.
And it
Yes.
was an investment. But you know what? If you invest and you apply yourself with the right program,
Yeah.
you'll make
Yes.
that 10 times infinite returns, right? Because at
So
some
true.
point, it's
So
just
true.
like the money comes. But
Uh,
the key thing I believe is that a lot of people buy courses thinking like they're gonna. Like this guy went through the whole course. Most people only get 8% done on the course and they
That's
stop
it.
going into
That's
it.
it. Exactly. And I'm just very particular. They have to have a 1 hour session with me to fill out my goal sheet, which I give it to them, 5 pages long. Then they send it to me before even I have that 1 hour session. Then I want to go over, dig deeper and see. I don't want them to waste their money. Not at all. So I want to make sure that they are sincere about really taking it to the next level. So some of these students, I've talked to them 2, 3 times, which is fine with me, but I want to make sure they are going to just crush it. And if they are ready, then I'm ready. Yeah.
That's good. That's smart
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
you only want people that are going to like excel, and they're
Sure.
not going to be
Sure.
tire kickers, and they're not going to get in there and say,
Mhm.
"Hey, it's not working." Well, it's not working because you're not doing the work.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. No, just like we discussed today, guys, repurposing your content, brand, personal branding is so important. I really like Rory Vaden. You and I talked about it too. And I know Rory and AJ are also putting out good content. They are really great people. The key thing I learned from them is you got to build your brand. If you're raising money, you got to build your brand so that people trust you. If you're a coach, you got to be showing your track record where you have come from. You can't just do coaching without even getting to that point, anyway.
I love it. Well,
Which a
that's
lot of
great.
people are doing. Which
Yeah.
people are doing, by the way.
So everybody out there, whatever your
Yeah.
business is,
Mhm.
one is find a mentor, get
Yeah.
coached. Like I said yesterday, I just bought a course on AI. Why?
Yeah.
Because I want to get better at what I'm doing, build brand, build better content, build a bigger top of funnel, right? Because the more leads that come in,
Hmm.
the better I
Yeah.
do financially, and it just keeps growing. And so, if I
Totally.
want to get to the place where I want to go for my goals of 2025, like we talked about
Hmm.
in 2024 when we said
Yeah.
crush
Yes.
2024. How are you going to crush
Uh-huh.
2025? I think I've, not hit every goal I set out, but I do, I can honestly say I crushed 2024.
So true, so true. And by the way, we'll bring that great content. It's evergreen content, and we have that. We'll repurpose it again, just like this session is. So, Bo, you and I will talk about how we could bring out with new angle, new catchy phrases and everything, so that these people who really connected with us, in 2024, 2023, remember we were entering we'll bring that back. So look forward to getting that. We got the domain name already, 2025, I think. Crush it 2025. So
Crush
we will be,
2025.
yeah, Crush 2025. We'll kind of talk to you about in December or so that you could enroll in there free totally. And we'll drop one a day, really great techniques that, to grow your business. So look forward to that. Yeah.
See you guys on the next episode.
See you guys next episode. Brother, hold on. Alrighty.